What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning into the MoveOTX channel here today. So what do you do when it's the frickin' hottest day of the summer? I'll give you guys a minute or two to think about it. What do? You hike a trail. That's what we're doing today. Got my hot weather sombrero on, and we're gonna try and stay cool today. I'm packing out probably 2 liters of water and some ice. We're at my favorite trail series, the Arastadero Preserve, and we're going to do something different today. We're going to do a through hike. So we're starting off here at the main trailhead, and we're going to take this trail, the Arastadero Creek Trail, all the way down past the lake, past the dried up pond. Both of these are probably dried up today. And we're going to actually pass through Arastadero, exit out, and enter into Foothills Park. And I'm going to take you guys on a hike up to the Vista Point in Foothills Park, and that's what we're doing today. Usually we do out and backs, which essentially this is, but and we normally do loop trails, but this is a through hike from one park into another. So the challenge today is going to be maintaining pace and enduring the heat. So now when I say heat, here in the Bay Area, it just really doesn't get, well, let me rephrase that. Here around the San Francisco Bay, fairly close proximity to it, it just doesn't get that hot. So it's supposed to reach about 100 Fahrenheit today. The thing here that's going to work to our favor is the really low humidity. So it's probably maybe single digits humidity here today, maybe in the low teens percentage wise as far as humidity goes. So unlike other parts of the country that I've been to, Washington DC, Indiana, Orlando, Florida, just crazy humidity in those parts of the country, and they actually measure the temperature in units of the heat index, which is a graded temperature scale that factors in humidity into the equation. So here in California, we simply don't have humidity, and we certainly don't have a heat index. And we come across a family of turkeys, little baby chicks, and oh, some more of them off there. Can you see them? I'm going to give them their space. They're parenting, so I'm going to walk way over here on the side of the trail. Give them space. As you can see there, they're parenting their young chicks, and I'm walking right by them. They don't feel like they have to aggressively attack me or defend themselves. So the air is just really still right now. Which is nice. Oh, in fact, I need to turn off my wind noise reduction. So just resting up here at the dried out pond. You can see all the dead fish out in there. They don't stand a chance. So this thing's probably going to be bone dry in about a week or two, which is kind of a shame. I remember certain times of the year water would come out all the way to the edge here, and I would step down and dip my bandana into it to stay cool. So not so today. Not this summer. Too dry. So this is our landscape here for the next hour or so. In and out of oak forest, tree canopy, and if there's any shade anywhere on this trail, I'm going to cash in on that and take advantage of it. In fact, I would offer up that as a piece of advice to anybody out on the trails when it's hot. Provide your own shade and your own cooling. And if you can't, rely on Mother Nature for that. I'm trying to maintain my 3 mile/hour speed and pace. Not sure if I can today. Probably not. I'll be taking some rests here and there for sure. So you can see the sides of the trail where the rangers have trimmed back all the extra dry grass and foliage, pushed it back. So California is in a massive drought condition, and the entire state is just a massive tinder bundle everywhere you go. So the idea is to trim back all that dry grass as much as possible as we rest here in the shade. So here's something I want to show you guys. Wild blackberries. Right on the side of the trail. They're not ripe yet. Would not want to eat them when they're red like that. Very sour. How do I know? Because I've tried them before. So I think the raccoons actually eat those. If I see some raccoons scat along the side of the trail, I'll point it out to you and I'll show you all the little seeds and stuff in there. But I don't see any raccoon scat here. Not yet. Alrighty. Not a breeze in sight. Not yet. Which is good for us here. That means I can maximize my field audio on my camera. Alrighty guys, so this is our last trail junction. This is Wood Rat Trail. I've taken you guys up there before. That's how you get on up into the Ylva Hagner commemorative section of the park. And we're going to continue on this fire road on up this way. It's only about a half mile more, but it's a bit of an uphill climb, so we'll take it slow and easy. Pace ourselves. We're in no hurry today. Still smiling, feeling great. Obviously I'm completely drenched and soaked in sweat, and that's one of the problems I don't like about wearing hats. Much rather wear a bandana so it kind of evaporates and I get airflow to my head, and the whole thermal cooling aspect can occur. When I wear a hat, it's like everything's trapped on top of my dome and I don't feel like I'm venting or evaporating and cooling in any way. So fortunately it's not too hot right now. I have no clue what the actual temperature really is, but it doesn't seem like it's too hot, and as I was saying before, it's certainly not humid. So keep going. This is kind of where the lengthier uphill section of our climb begins, as we start to exit out of Arastadero Preserve. Alrighty everybody, we've managed to hike through Arastadero Preserve, and that's the exit right there, and that's the entrance into Foothills Park. So we've done the hike up from that way, and this trail over here only goes for about 100 yards or so, and then it's fenced off, can't pass. So it's a private kind of a driveway, I think, for some of the residents that live up in these hills farther down that way. So this is the direction we're headed now. So we made it on through to the entrance of Foothills Park. No horseback and no mountain biking. These trails are strictly for us, hikers. So that's the main road that leads down into the park and into the visitor center down that way. And this is Coyote Trail. So I've taken you guys on Coyote Trail before. There's actually not a whole lot to see up in there. It's so deeply oak forested and so wooded. So I'm going to take you guys up on this main paved route here, and this is where I usually sight turkeys and deer, but not today. This may seem kind of anticlimactic, but oh, speaking of which, there's a deer. Can you see him? I was just saying this is going to be kind of anticlimactic for those of you who are into trail hikes, but the nice thing about this paved road is there's some really nice vistas along the way up to the primary vista lookout point. So there's a deer. Let's keep an eye out for any buck. Onwards and upwards. Entirely an uphill climb. Look at where we're coming up to here, guys. Whoo-wee! There's the main roadway into Foothills Park down there. And that crest right up there is the 1850 foot summit of the park. I've taken you guys up there before. And between us and them is Wild Horse Valley, and Tully Campground is that way over this ridge here. Enjoy those blue skies, man. California is a gigantic, and the entire western half of the United States is a gigantic tinder bundle. Flame and fire danger everywhere. So, enjoy these skies while they're blue. I just got bit by a black fly. That was annoying. Need to get myself some new permethrin and retreat my clothing for the summer. Alrighty, look at where we are, guys. What a view. Woohoo! That's the Los Altos foothills area, and that big bald patch of hill, I've always wondered why it looks like that. Was it clear cut some time ago for forestation purposes, or just what? There is a trail going up there. I never actually see anybody hike up there though. One of these days I think I'll have to do that. So down in there is Wild Horse Valley, and you can see Los Trancos Trail, parts of it there, and parts of it right there, one of the main fire road sections. And up there, I'm not sure if you can see them, but those electrical poles and electrical wires right there, that's the peak. That's the summit of Foothills Park. That's 1850 feet of elevation right there. We're probably around 800 or 900 feet right now. Alrighty guys, so we made it on up here to the main Vista Point area in Foothills Park. And a lot of cars here, a lot of vehicle traffic up here. People really enjoy this view all the time. Very busy up here. Most of you guys probably knew this already, but those of you who are getting into outdoors and trail hiking and backpacking and that kind of thing. So, magnetic north is not the same thing as geographic north. Okay, it's just a few degrees, it's just a little bit off, okay? It's just a little bit off, and you can see that here on my compass. Always keep that in mind when you're using a magnetic compass in field. Alrighty, so we're going to wrap things up here at this Vista Point, and going to hike on down, and there is a California condor flying overhead. We see a lot of those out here. If you see like 4 or 5 of them circling overhead, that means they're zeroing in on a food source. So condors only eat dead animals. They don't eat live animals. So typically a mountain lion will come through this region of California, kill a fawn, consume the body parts or whatever, eat the thing, and then the condors circle overhead over it. So if you see a bunch of them circling overhead, that's usually what happens. I saw a bunch of them eating a snake once too, actually. So straight ahead is Mount Diablo. Over to the right is Fremont, Mission Peak, right over there. So we parked just into these hills here. See over these line of trees, and you drop down in, not quite to the freeway, to 280, but a little bit in from there is Arastadero Preserve. And we did the main fire road hike on in through these oak forests over here, and it kind of comes back this way and makes a U-turn as we enter into Foothills Park. So you can kind of see how it's a steady, gradual uphill climb as we entered in through that trail. Nice. Sorry for the wind noise, but you can definitely hear that, I hope. But that's the natural air conditioning of the Bay Area. So we just don't, like I said earlier, we just don't get these raging heat waves like 100 plus and high humidity. We just don't get that here. So yeah, the temperature, the thermometer scale may read 100 degrees or whatever, or 95 or whatever, but it's a cool 95, a cool 100, just because it's bone dry. Alrighty guys, so we managed to hike on down from the peak Vista Point lookout area of Foothills Park, and we're now going to enter back into Arastadero Preserve and make our way back. So you guys have seen this already. Still smiles, not too tired, maybe a little, but not really. So the main challenge here is going to be monitoring my hydration levels and monitoring for hyperthermia. It's gotten considerably warmer here. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm going to be taking a lot of rests here in these shady oak tree areas and taking it slow on the way out. Even though it's mostly downhill, still I want to make sure I pace myself and stay safe. All right, everybody, thanks for sticking with me here on our hike back through Arastadero Preserve. I think we're going to wrap things up here, everybody. So it's a beautiful day, gorgeous weather everywhere out here. So, as always, everyone, thanks for tuning in and watching the channel. Please feel free to post comments and questions down below, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Remember, everybody, stay safe out there and enjoy the outdoors. I will catch you all on the next one.